What is going on, you Aries? You Aries actually have the Eight of Pentacles, the Sun card, and the Queen of Swords. So it's a sense of you Aries kind of not you Aries kind of uh how do I explain this? It's like you Aries basically are not doing you're taking a very mature way out of interacting with someone whom you Aries don't like. The Eight of Pentacles and the Sun card very much so speaks, and even the Queen of Swords very much so speaks about how, you could say certain things or you could do certain things to this person, because regardless of to who or what, how jealous this person is, how much they bite. When I say bite, I mean like how much they like um just swag jacking, you know what I mean? Just biting, you know what I mean? No matter how much the person just kind of, you know, uh, just kind of like emulates you and tries to make it seem like it's them, it's who they originally are. You understand what I'm saying? It's more so a sense of like, you know, it's more so a sense of like you still shine through regardless. And regardless of how many times the person tries their best to kind of replicate or duplicate your success, they can't. And they just end up looking like they're biting off way more than what they can chew. And whatever work you do, other people kind of, if they know you and they know them, they kind of talk about how you Aries do it, right? Specifically, y'all do it. And kind of like this, like they give it back as a reference to this. And they're a biter. So they're the type of people that want to be seen as um, the originator of that, or that way of doing it in particular, that specific way of doing something. And they're not, you are. And the thing about it is that this is where you get the light, the spotlight, right? And the thing about it is that the Queen of Swords here represents you, Aries, will not lash out at them. You will not address them. You will, let other people make their own decisions about how they feel and what they're going to do with this biter, with this individual who attempts to take your style and take your personality and use it for what they want. And so now you have the Chariot and the Four of Swords. So the Chariot and the Four of Swords here represents, it was a very wise decision for you to know how to move, because you know how to move, right? You have wisdom. So you Aries understand to not take these individuals, to not really quite take these individuals quite seriously, because once again, like they don't have the certain lessons that you have. Remember, what you know is years of experience and trial and error, right? Actually going through these things and experiencing these things and learning as you go. And they don't have that kind of wisdom, which is knowledge and experience. So they are in fact biting off way more than what they can chew. So it's this sense of, again, it could be romance, it could be friends, it could be, business partners or people whom you work at the job with. It could be family members, just people who are essentially in over their head. I'm looking outside, looking at the scenery, the bridge and everything. So sorry but I'm still paying attention. I'm still with y'all. I may not just want to stare you down, but please forgive me. But the point that I'm trying to make here with that is that for you, Aries, this is also about how they are in over their head, because they do not have that wisdom that you do, right? What is wisdom? Wisdom is basic wisdom equates to knowledge and experience. Then over the years, you gain wisdom because you've been through something, you have the knowledge, you know what to do, you know what not to do, and you know how to adapt just in case if things don't necessarily go exactly textbook how as you learned it. And so the Four of Swords here represents, so you're not going to say anything to them. You're not going to be in a competition with them. Because when you're in competition with a person who's a biter, it makes you look worse. You understand? It makes you look like you're the actual biter. And I know it's lame that a person does that to you, but you do have to allow people to do that to who do that to do that. It is what it is. And then you, Aries, also have the judgment, which is you are delivered from that emotionally. You see it, or you may have seen it, past tense, because you're not connected with these people. You don't speak to them, but you are delivered emotionally from that. You, Aries, will not engage with them in that fashion at all. They have to deal with that. The Two of Cups. So it's this real sense of how you, Aries, really have walked away from individuals who think that they know everything, you know, think that they know everything, or just, you understand what I'm saying? Think that they know everything, or think they know more than you, and in competition with you. And it's like you, Aries, were trying to kind of, I don't know, like kind of ask them to not go down this route, kind of like with Kendrick and Drake, right? And it's like, please don't go down this route because said person is going to lose. And it's like they're so caught up with the bravado. It's like, again, like sometimes it doesn't matter the bravado. It's like, don't be so caught up to the point where you want to uphold an image this is why I say be yourself and don't try to uphold an image. I do not make any qualms about letting people know I live in public housing. Do I have a house in Trinidad? I do, but up here in New York City, I live in public housing. I'm not making qualms about that. I'm not trying to impress y'all and make it seem as if I'm rich, like I have 7 and 8 figures. Am I building up to that? Yeah. But at the same time, I'm not gonna sit over here and lie or any of that stuff. And so why I'm saying that is because this person's need to kind of put on the bravado, the show, they're in over their head. And that's why you, Aries, were kind of asking them, kind of pleading with them. It's not because you're coming from a place of weakness. It was actually because you're coming from a place of strength. And that's another aspect of it too. Sometimes it's not sometimes when you ask for people to do something, it's not always coming from a place of weakness. Like a lot of people, especially in today's world, are so desperate. They're clawing and scratching at trying to climb the socio-economic ladder, right? To be seen as mighty, right? To pound on their chest and to be seen as mighty, right? These power plays and stuff like this, to the point where it's very emotional. It's very not calculated. It's very it's something that essentially costs them because they have the inability to discipline and to control themselves at least long enough to where they can actually come to a meaningful position or a meaningful victory. And so the things that the Two of Cups and the Four of Wands here for you, it speaks about how, so it's done. This connection is done between the two of you, right? You, Aries, essentially, you're letting them have your style. And your style is evolving even past that, even past where it was, right? You're reclaiming your own style again by allowing your style and who you are to evolve. And so the things that the Devil and the Queen of Pentacles now represents, now they're, what's happening here is that don't be surprised if like this person tries to take what you evolved into. But here's the catch 22. They they can only, what I find is people who are biters can't do that until they've achieved a certain level of proximity. They can't really assess the situation unless they have actually kind of gotten close enough to you to actually be able to, in their own rendition, kind of their own version of replication of what it is, right? Like, why is it that biters don't copy Kanye West, or they don't copy Drake, or they don't copy, you know, I don't like Kanye. You know what I'm saying? I don't like Kanye personally. Uh, music, if you ask me, I'm a hot take. Music, Kanye's music to me is kind of mediocre. You know what I mean? You know, don't argue with me. Argue with your parents about that. Same thing with, I ain't gonna say with Drake. I have a few Drake songs that I like. But it's kind of like, that. It's kind of like, how come they don't copy Pusha T, or Kendrick, or I don't know, Lil Kim, or Snow the Product, or any of these people, right? Lloyd Banks. It's because they can't. It's because they don't know these people enough to actually, like, you gotta understand, like, it's very much so kind of like, the Faculty. If you ever seen the Faculty, how like the organism that, like, they have to get close to you. They have to achieve a certain degree of proximity to you. And the thing about it is that the degree of proximity is like, that's how they essentially now try to replicate or become you. And so they can't do it. So what they'll do in the future is be prepared for people whom you Aries have decided that you want nothing to do with anymore. You want nothing else. Be prepared for them to come back and attempt to be friends with you. You know, try to be friends with you, try to get you Aries to forgive them and to, take them back and accept them back in your life. But see, again, like, they'll circle back around, because most biters do. I'm not saying all do, but I'm saying most biters do, because they are a conglomerate of a lot of different people. You understand what I'm saying? They are a big conglomerate of different people. So, of course, plenty of people who replicate me, try to be me when I'm not around. And it's like, but when I come around, they are quiet as a church mouse. They cannot really be themselves, right? And the reason why is because I fundamentally am different, Same thing with you Aries. You Aries are fundamentally different from them. That's why they become quiet when you are around. It's because, like what Cap Williams say, when he enters into the room, heads go down. So let's clarify the Queen of Pentacles. You have the Empress, Page of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, Four of Wands, and then you Aries also have the Seven of Cups. Right, because the Empress, right, the Page of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords here speaks about how you Aries happen to be in a place where, you just understand who the mole is. You understand who's the biter, who's the person that has to replicate, and you're not going to allow them to come back in again. You don't want them to. You're actually thinking about what you're going to do or how you're going to stay away from them if they were to ever try to return. And the thing is that the Four of Wands and the Seven of Cups here represents, if it's like a romantic interest, they'll try to appease you and try to be in a relationship with you again, or try to start over. If it's friends, they'll try to start over, right? Regardless of what capacity, they'll try to like redo it. And the Seven of Cups is that for you, you should essentially tell them, no, you're busy. You have a lot of things going on, and that no, you're busy. And they may reach out to you often after you tell them that, because they want to, like I said, they want to replicate, right? But they want to bite off of you, but don't allow them to do that. That's it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. I'm trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. We have 29,223 subscribers. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever it is that I drop my videos. If you want to come through and get a personal reading, the link to that is in the comment section below. Call the Linktree link. Peace, Aries.